What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the top 10 best builds in Warframe. So in this guide I will give you a quick overview of each setup, then I will explain what are their pros and cons, then how do their key mechanics work, then what mods and weapons should you focus on, and overall these builds will require little to no investment in order to work properly. They are ideal for any player who just wants to have fun while dominating 99% of the content. Also, if you're interested in buying other PC or console games with 50 or 70% discount, then check out Instant Gaming. For example, I want to buy Elden Ring, so we just click on Add to Cart, then click Pay, then input our details and pay. After payment is complete, we will receive activation key, then copy and paste the key in, and it's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Click my link description and check out Instant Gaming for yourself. First up we have the Sevagoth Shadow Nuke build. The setup is designed for quick high impact bursts by using the Sevagoth Shadow form. The playstyle is super straightforward. Let Sevagoth run out of energy, then hit 4 to enter the shadow form, then cast the Death's Harvest with 3 to apply viral to everything around you. Then follow that up with the heavy attack if you're running the claw build. After that, just press 4 again to detonate everything in the range. It's fast, flashy, and melts enemies in seconds. The build focuses on high power strength and decent duration to get the most out of the Death's Harvest and the Shadows 4. Then for mods we are running the Steel Charge for the extra melee damage, then Preparation to start full on energy, then Primed Flow and Primed Continuity for energy and duration, then Blind Strength and Transient Fortitude to crank up the strength. Then also we got the Stretch, Augur Reach and the Augur Massage, then Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude to crank up the strength. Then also we got Stretch, Augur Reach and the Augur Message to round it out with a solid range and duration. Overall, this build is not made for staying in the shadow form permanently. It's more about dipping in, deleting everything, and then popping back out. For weapons, you want to pair this with a Shadow Claws Prime, which is modded for heavy attack damage to get the most out of the burst combo. Next up we got the Gauss Tenent Envoy build. The setup combines Gauss insane speed and reload bonuses with the explosive power of the Tenent Envoy, and it is one of the smoothest run and gun combos you can play. The key synergy here is between the Gauss and the energized munitions, as EM completely takes care of your ammo economy, letting you fire off those rockets non-stop without ever worrying about reloads. Then Gauss will naturally boost the Envoy's fire rate and reload speed, so it feels way snappier than normal. The build focuses on survivability, energy efficiency, and staying in the red line for as long as possible. For mods, we are running the Sprint Boost and Rush to stack movement speed, while it also helps Gauss generate battery charge faster. Then Primed Continuity, Stretch, Augur Reach, and the Augur Message all boost duration and range to keep EM and buffs active longer. The Arcane Flow will keep energy topped off, especially when paired with the EM and the Arcane Vitality, which gives us a solid health with bonus energy regen and the heat procs. Then Adaptation makes the Gauss extra tanky, and Umbral Intensify will boost ability strength to help with the battery gain and the buff scaling. You can also swap Sprint Boost for corrosive projection if you want more armor strip. The playstyle is fast, aggressive, and explosive. Just keep your buffs up, activate EM, and let the Envoy spam missiles non-stop. Next we have Cyte 09 build. This one is a bit different, it's a bit more tactical and less about brute force. The setup focuses on cycling Arcane Evade and Neutralizer for invisibility, survivability, and consistent damage. You will start by activating the Hardened Wellspring, then pop Evade for stealth, and then summon Neutralize while invisible. You want to get few precision kills to trigger the Arcane Intensify, and then recast the Neutralize while still cloaked up to keep the buff rolling, and then rinse and repeat until Molt augmented stacks are maxed and you are just deleting everything. For mods, we're using the Combat Discipline to trigger the Arcane Intensify via the Health Loss and Preparation or an Ember Shard for energy on spawn. Then Arcane Intensify, Primed Continuity, and the Blind Rage will stack up the strength and duration you need. Then Overextended will give you more range, while the Stretch and Equilibrium will help with the energy sustain and the ability coverage. Rolling Guard is there for safety, and the Primed Flow will keep your energy pool healthy. It's not about pushing level cap, though it probably could. This is more about precision, invis uptime, and a smooth kill loop. I also usually swap between the electric and viral depending on what I'm running. However, if you tweak it or take it even higher, then let me know in the comments. Next we have Mirage Sleight of Hand build, which is designed for powerful nuke combos by using Mirage 4. The core playstyle revolves around triggering the Sleight of Hand's explosion to clear crowds quickly, so it's all about maximizing damage and survivability, while keeping your energy and the range high. A good tip here is to run battery-powered weapons like the Fulmin, or the ones with infinite ammo like the Nataruk, so you don't waste ammo pickups that could have been turned into bombs. Then for mods we're running the Corrosive Projection to strip enemy armor, which amps up your damage output significantly. Then the Rolling Guard will keep you safe while casting, which lets you dodge incoming damage. Then Explosive Lugger Demon will boost the explosive damage of your Sleight of Hand, while Stretch, Augur Reach and the Augur Secrets will extend your ability's range and the strength to reach more enemies. Then Intensify cranks up your power strength for bigger nukes. And then the last 3 open mod slots are your personal preference. I recommend adding Primed Flow for the extra energy, then Primed Continuity to lengthen your ability duration, and then Streamline to lower energy costs and keep your nukes coming faster. This setup is effective even without the Riven mod, letting you consistently outpace your squad in kills with reliable high burst DPS. On number 5 we have the Khora whipclaw build, which is designed for crowd control and the high sustained damage. The playstyle revolves around casting the ensnare to group enemies, then quickly building your melee combo with a stat stick weapon like the Rota, or by letting Venari help with the tandem bond. You'll place the Strangledom at the choke point, then trap enemies and force them into your deadly whipclaw explosions. The goal is to rotate kills between the struggle domes, letting your enemies get caught while you continue bursting them down. Range is the most crucial stat here, because it will boost the Strangle's dome size, then also the ensnare spell radius and the whipclaw's explosive radius, which can be capped at 200%. We run mods like the Cunning Drift to reach the cap, then Stretch and the Augur Reach for the range, while the Primed Continuity and the Molt Efficiency will maintain the Struggle Dump's duration, so you don't have to keep recasting it. Strength here is deprioritized, since accumulating the Whipclaw will handle the bulk of the damage scaling. For survivability, the Brief Respite will combine with Catalyzed Shields, which will provide strong shield for gaining an iframes on the Whipclaw cast. Then Equilibrium will help with the energy sustain, while Companion Synergy and the Streamline will keep your energy cost manageable. Flexible mods like the Pilfering Struggledom will boost loot in the longer runs, or you can swap in the Rolling Guard or the Augur Reach for more survivability or range. Then for Arcanes, the Arcane Fury amps up the Whipclaw damage, while Arcane Avenger will boost the crit chance. Overall, the build excels in high-density missions, especially in the Stealth Path Survival, which offers excellent crowd control, damage and sustain. Then next we have AFK Octavia build. This is a solid setup, focused on letting Octavia's abilities to do the heavy lifting, while you stay mostly hands off. The main idea is to use the mallet to attract enemies and multiply the damage they take, by turning them into walking nukes. The metronome will keep you permanently invisible with the speed and the multi-shot buffs, while EMP boosts both your weapon and the mallet damage and the range for maximum destruction. Then mod-wise we will run Corrosive Projection to strip the enemy armor and boost overall damage, while Cunning Drift, Stretch and Overextender will increase your mallet's range for the bigger explosions. Then Blind Range will crank up the power strength, paired with the Primed Continuity and Narrow-Minded to balance out duration, so your buffs last but don't limit your rotation. Then Primed Flow ensures that you have plenty of energy to keep casting, and then the Rolling Guard will add survivability, especially against Eximus abilities and dispels. The playstyle is simple but effective. Cast Mallet, then let enemies shoot to trigger the massive explosions, and keep your buffs active while moving and shooting to the beat. The build excels in high-level Stealth Path missions, letting you nuke crowds with minimal effort, while supporting your team's damage. Next up we have Venomous Saryn build that focuses on maximizing toxic damage and survivability. You want to start by holding the Venom dose to buff your weapon, then activate the Toxic Lash to boost weapon and the spore damage, then tap spores on enemies and shoot them to spread the toxin efficiently. Then use Miasma to quickly spread spores and create viral procs for the crowd control. Survivability will rely on staying behind cover, while using Molt to draw enemy fire, cleanse status effects, and gain a speed boost. The build leverages shield gating, combined with the Catalyst shields, to quickly regenerate shields and gain brief invulnerability frames, by enabling you to tank high-level hits efficiently. Then for mods we want to go with something like the Stretch and Overextender. that increase spore spread and the miasma radius, while transient fortitude, umbral intensity, and venom dose will boost ability strength, enhancing toxic damage and the spore decay. Then primed continuity will help to maintain buff duration, and equilibrium will balance health and energy for sustainability. Then primed sure-footed will reduce knockdowns, and brief respite improves shield getting survivability. Energy management comes from the prime flow, or the helmet some suits, like the Spectorage or the Nourish for the extra energy and the crowd control. This versatile setup excels in endurance missions, blending powerful toxic damage, strong crowd control, and reliable survivability. For weapons we wanna use high status toxic friendly weapons like the Kuva Brahma or the Tigris Prime to maximize spore spread and the toxic lash damage. On number 8 we got Excalibur Umbral Steel Pad build, which is all about overwhelming enemies with the Exalted Umbral Blade and relying on spamming melee and mobility to dominate 1v1s in tight corridor fights. It maximizes guaranteed red crits via the Wrathful Advance combined with the Toad Forge Violent Arcane Shards, which pushes critical damage to insane levels. Well then when we use 2 of those shards, they will provide powerful armor stripping to make every hit devastating. Survivability will come from the Umbral mods and adaptation, letting you tank hits and keep fighting in the Steel Pad's toughest encounters. Steel Charge and the Power Drift will help to reach damage and the status thresholds, while the Arcane Flow will boost energy and sustain your ability uptime. The build shines in close quarters and boss fights, but is not suited for open areas or crowd control. I recommend to use weapons like the Latron Prime with Incarnate Genesis for additional armor strip and the boss damage, plus secondary options like the Epitaph or the Lex Prime. For melee, a fast status heavy weapon like the Nikana Prime works well as a backup. Then companions like the Panzer with survivability and the damage mods will complement this high risk high reward setup very nice. Overall, it's a powerful, straightforward build for solo stealth path runs that is focused on speed, precision, and the brutal melee damage. Then for one of the last ones, we have the Stealth Path Harrow build that leverages his entire kit to provide excellent shield generation, crowd control, energy regen for team, and a strong crit buff from Covenant, with mods like the Corrosive Projection, Primed Sure-Footed, Rolling Guard, Constitution, Primed Continuity, Augur Message, Prime Flow, Stretch, Augur Reach, and the Blind Range. It balances duration, range, efficiency, and strength to maximize uptime and survivability. You'll channel the Torrible to gain high energy regen per kill, while staying invulnerable via the Rolling Guard or the Covenant's iframes. Then you want to spam Condemn to generate overshields and control crowds. Then use Penance during high overshields for powerful damage and the healing synergy. Then Covenant absorbs damage to increase crit chance, especially with precise headshots that also generate energy. This build thrives in almost every content because of its strong survivability and the team support. For weapons, I recommend to emphasize on the headshot synergy, like the Kuva Chakur and the Nagatanka, which pairs well with the Harrow's crit buffs. Overall, the build offers a robust balance of offense, defense, and support, which is ideal for any type of content. And lastly, for number 10, we have Total Malevolence Mirage build. This one focuses on maximizing hologram damage with the Hull of Malevolence and the Total Eclipse Augments, which makes Mirage clones hit with the insane damage, as each hologram can do over 1000% weapon damage under the right conditions. The playstyle centers on keeping Eclipse's damage buff active at all times, while casting the Hull of Mirrors to generate clones that draw enemy fire and multiply your damage output. Survivability is handled passively through the catalyzing shields, combined with the fast deflection and the vigilance vigor to maintain shield gating almost continuously, making Mirage nearly immortal to most damage when paired with the Hulls of Mirrors' innate dodge. Duration and strength are balanced to keep the long-lasting buffs and to maximize the hologram damage, while narrow-minded helps maintain decent duration with enough range to cover your clones. Then flexible subsumes like the Nourish or Omamari can be added for energy sustain or for the extra survivability. And then arcanes like the Arcane Aegis will provide additional layers of protection. This build shines with high AoE weapons that benefit from the hologram's amplified damage, making it perfect for solo stealth path runs and any other high level missions where consistent massive damage output and tankiness are key. So let me know what you think about these Warframe builds in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous tier list where I ranked every single Warframe from C to S tier plus. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.